Roughly 5 years before the events depicted in Episode 4, Han Solo deserted from the Imperial Navy after being disgusted by the Empire's enslavement of Wookiees, including Wookiee children. After escaping from his service to the Empire to start a career as a smuggler with Chewbacca, Han would be wanted for treason by the Empire, resulting in a bounty being issued on him for his desertion. Even worse, Han's actions would come to the attention of Grand Moff Tarkin himself, who chose to make Solo an example of the Empire's zero tolerance for treason. To further this Imperial policy, Tarkin employed none other than Boba Fett, hoping the bounty hunter could locate Solo and allow the smuggler to be brought to justice. However, in stark contrast to the very actions Vader would take almost a decade later, the Sith Lord was disgusted by Tarkin's decision, believing bounty hunters had no role to play in Imperial matters. As Tarkin argued that all other options had been exhausted and Solo had to be made an example of for his desertion, Vader saw it as depicting the Empire as weak. While Tarkin respected Boba Fett's skills, he was nothing but an overpriced mercenary to Vader, and more importantly, Imperial problems needed to be handled solely by the Empire itself. Eventually, Tarkin accepted Vader's point, and although he saw no value in calling off the bounty hunter, he offered Vader a compromise. To prove the Empire was serious about desertion, Vader too should track down Solo. Even more, given that Vader had more important things to do than track down a single case of treason, Tarkin obtained explicit permission from the Emperor for Vader to conduct his search. So with that, Vader began his mission, hoping to make a statement by beating Boba to Solo. Both the Sith Lord and the bounty hunter were able to obtain information that a pilot meeting Solo's description traveled to the planet Tatooine, with Vader's methods being a bit more direct. But because Boba had a head start, he was able to reach Tatooine and ultimately Solo first, tracking him to a cantina. But as Boba was about to make good on his bounty, Vader also crashed through the cantina door with his lightsaber ignited. The shock of the situation took Boba by surprise, causing him to immediately turn his blaster on Vader before realizing who it was. As they argued over who was going to claim the bounty on Solo, the smuggler used the opportunity to escape, only to be caught within a stasis field set up by Boba outside the cantina. Fortunately for Solo, Vader then used the Force to throw Boba to the ground, and as the Sith taunted him by saying he expected more from the bounty hunter, Vader lifted his lightsaber to deliver a killing strike. Boba Fett would then shock Vader by revealing a green-bladed lightsaber of his own, igniting it to block Vader's incoming strike. As explained by Boba, Vader shouldn't be surprised to see him with a lightsaber, as the Sith Lord wasn't the only one to have killed a Jedi. As Vader became infuriated, noting that Boba wasn't worthy of such a weapon, he pressed his attack, unleashing powerful strikes the bounty hunter was just barely able to block and dodge. But eventually, Vader's power and skills were too much as one of his strikes knocked Boba to the ground. Vader would again attempt to end the duel with a single strike, but as he plunged his lightsaber downward, Boba made a final desperate attempt to block it, causing Vader's red blade to just barely miss its target, and Boba's own lightsaber to be flung from his hands. Fortunately for Solo, Boba's lightsaber would deactivate the stasis field containing him, allowing Solo to do the wise thing and run away. Solo's escape would also end the duel between Vader and Boba. As Vader again used the Force to throw Boba into a wall, the Sith Lord merely collected the lightsaber used by the bounty hunter and restarted his hunt for the Imperial deserter. Angered by his failure to collect his bounty, Boba Fett merely watched Vader depart, but promised he would eventually capture Solo no matter what. Ultimately, Vader's search would also end in failure, forced to return to the Death Star without Solo, and unable to send the strong message he and Tarkin had hoped for. So there we have it, how Vader and Boba Fett ended up in a lightsaber duel. We love making these videos, so why not subscribe for more fun Star Wars theories and discussions. Also, if you enjoyed the video, think about giving a like or leaving a comment. Or perhaps follow us on Twitter at SW Reading Club for updates regarding the channel. Or support the channel through Patreon for access to exclusive rewards and discussions. If not for me... for unexpected stasis fields.